Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be looking at moles in chemistry. The things you should know at the end of this video are what are moles, MR and AR, and how to calculate moles in a GCSE scenario. So let's start off with what are moles. When you hear the word moles, you probably think of the furry animal that burrows under the ground, or even a spy that is used to gain information on someone. But in fact, in chemistry, the word mole is actually just a number of atoms in a certain mass of a substance. And this is the number. Just to be clear, this number is not a mole, but is in fact the Avogadro's constant. A mole is practically that number of particles in an element, not the actual number itself. And what moles are basically used for is to determine the number of atoms in a certain mass of something. So, going back to the number, 1 mole equals that number of atoms in a certain mass. So when you say 1 mole, you are basically saying that number, that's how many atoms there are in this mass of something. Moles can actually be calculated using the equation mass over relative atomic mass. And what is a relative atomic mass? Well, a relative atomic mass is basically the mass of the atom, the atomic mass of the atom, which can be seen. If you don't know what it is, you can see their atomic mass on the periodic table. So, for example, the relative atomic mass of oxygen would be 16, and the relative atomic mass of carbon would be 12. So, let's have an example of how to calculate moles. So, if we had 12 grams of carbon, just carbon 12, how many moles would it be? I'll give you 30 seconds to try and figure it out. Did you get it? It was 1 mole. And using the equation before, you'd have 12 grams, and you would divide it by 12 because 12 is the relative atomic mass of carbon. So if you got that correct, feel good about yourself. If you didn't, don't worry, you can always practice. Now, it's all easy when it is just one element, but what if we have an entire compound then? What do we do? Well, we have MR instead of AR. AR is the relative atomic mass, and MR is the relative formula mass. So basically, what MR is basically all the relative atomic masses of the elements in that compound added together. That's practically it. And the equation is the same, so yeah, mass divided by MR, so all you need is a calculator. So yeah, that's all I can think of today. If you liked this episode, please leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't, leave a comment of what you would want us to do. And with all that, see you guys in the next video.